In Indian cinema, it became even more difficult to say, hey, I want to act. The same rules as being Indian. You have three options. So if you came to my house, I had a TV, but it was not connected to a cable. He made me feel relaxed, like he would make jokes on set. Camera presence, screen presence, that's what photogenic means to me. It's really interesting because we live in a world where people believe. I'm Toranj Kayvon, you're watching Bollywood Hungama. Please subscribe and hit the bell button. Honestly, if I could describe how I'm feeling in one word, it would be ready. So I play the role of an Afghani girl. I can't tell you much more of that. You'll have to watch the film. But it's a very wonderful and important role, and I'm very blessed to have it. So actually, I have wanted to act since I was a teenager. I started both photography and acting when I was about 15 years old. Because I'm Persian, it's basically the same rules as being Indian. You have three options. You can be an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer. So I was set to become a lawyer. That is what my family wanted for me. And I did drama and theater in school. My drama teacher wrote letters to my parents, but it was a no-go. Finally, I was able to fight for photography. I became a photographer, and when I moved to India in 2012 and my work expanded as a photographer, and I started working with the most celebrated people in Indian cinema, it became even more difficult to say, hey, I want to act, you know? I was literally an actor in the closet, you can say that. And then finally I decided, in 2016, I began training as an actor. I just could not ignore the dream anymore. I started training. I didn't intend on staying in India, actually. I didn't know how long I would stay here for, but things just kept happening and happening and happening, and it's my kismat to be here, I guess. So I got cast for this role. It's interesting because they say it depends on who you know. It's all about who you know in the industry, and I can honestly say I'm close friends with some of the most celebrated people in Indian cinema, and none of this came from that. It literally came from an audition. I did the audition, I didn't think anything, and I got called almost immediately and locked in almost immediately. So again, like I said, my parents are like Indian parents. They're very strict. So they cut my cable. So if you came to my house, I had a TV, but it was not connected to a cable. There was one channel that worked, and when my parents left the house, I secretly watched it, and that was FTV, Fashion TV. So I literally would sit and I would sketch fashion and I would watch photo shoots happening. And I guess that influenced it, because by the time I was a teenager, I would take my friends, I'd do their makeup and hair, I'd go through our wardrobes, I'd put something together, and then I would go find a location and I would shoot. So that's how photography started. Honestly, he was so supportive because, I mean, it was my first studio film and it's with Dharma, and more than anything, I wanted to do my very best. So I was constantly like on my toes, and he was so supportive because he made me feel relaxed. Like he would make jokes on set, and he made the environment very light, and I'm really grateful for that. Yes, it's so interesting because I have supported so many actors and actresses, you know, especially people who are launching their career, young actors and actresses launching their career. I have supported them with my work as a photographer, and it was so beautiful to see everyone come together and want to support me for my debut. Honestly, there's no difference between me and anyone else who has a dream, other than the fact that it got to a point where I couldn't ignore my dream anymore. It became more painful to ignore my dream than to pursue it, because I think a lot of people don't pursue their dreams from the pain of the fear of rejection or failure. And for me, the pain of not being true to who I am started to exceed the pain and fear of failure. So I would tell anybody who wants to pursue a dream, whatever it is, acting or otherwise, you can only achieve something that you believe you are worthy of. And it just comes down to that. If you believe you are worthy of something, it will come to you. If you believe that you are not good enough, that is exactly what the universe will repeat back to you. So it's all up to you. So for me, photogenic is about, it's like the still equivalent of camera presence, screen presence. That's what photogenic means to me. So for me, the most photogenic person that has been in front of my camera is Irfan Khan, because it's about exuding your energy in front of a lens, and that man has it, and it is my dream to work with him. Oh my gosh, yes. So it's really interesting because we live in a world where people believe there isn't enough. And when one actor gets something, others get jealous or this and that, and that's with any field. Whereas for me, anytime I saw someone succeeding, I saw it as confirmation that I can succeed. So when someone else succeeds and does well, I see my strength in that. So I'm a big encourager of other actresses and actors, and when they do well, it is just more fuel for me because I know that I can also do well. And there's so many talented people in the industry whose work alone and confidence alone inspires me a lot. So I'm very grateful to be friends with these people. I think Alia is a fantastic actress. She has everything, and I really admire her. And I also really love Tabu. There's nothing in the works yet, but I look forward to manifesting my next project. It's like asking you to choose one food. There's lots of food that's good. For me, I think that the photography really helped me with the acting, to be honest with you, because when you have an understanding of camera and you understand just that whole medium, I think it was really helpful. I'm really grateful to be a photographer. Do I love shooting and do I experience a high when I shoot? Absolutely. I think it's time for me to pursue acting though right now. I can feel it. For me, all of those are fine. I like cinema that feels real to me, that feels relatable, and most importantly, I like cinema that is inspiring. So whatever happens at the end of a film, I want people to feel bigger having watched that film. And that's simply because I want to perform in films that I like to watch. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Toranj Kayvon. You're watching Bollywood Hungama. Please subscribe and hit the bell button.